Trent Yawney. I know, former Blackhawks head coach. I looked at those rosters last night. If I say them on the air, they will ban our YouTube page. So you go look at the teams Trent Yawney coached in Chicago.
Yeah.
And now there were some young guys. The reason this is interesting to me, the guys who played on the Dynasty Hawks, the defensemen especially, Seabrook, Keith, most notably, are over their skis about Trent Yawney. Is a guy who is a great communicator, a great teacher. He's stern. So he's not a guy who's going to be a pushover, which was a bit of the issue with Richardson and with Sorensen. You're not going to push Trent Yawney around. He's got high expectations. He's been described as abrasive, not in a John Tortorella way, but of a, hey, that wasn't good enough, better. He'll say it to Connor Bedard. Mm-hmm. He'll say it to Landon Slaggert and everybody in between, right? Like, it doesn't matter there. Tons of experience. He is also, what I love in a coach that was a player, is a coach that was good but not great. Right. So, like, Trent Yawney was a good defenseman for a long time. The only reason I don't love it is because it's another defensive hire. But it's okay because you can hire an offensive mind to help with the offense and help with the power play, which was actually pretty good last year. Mm-hmm. And maybe, just maybe, if you're thinking you like what Anders Sorensen does, you're going to keep him around the organization, the offense did look better with him. Maybe you keep him on as an assistant or something like that. I don't know. But Trent Yawney is a name I never see arising as a name for a head coach. Mm-hmm. But all he does is attach himself to, he's been with Todd McClellan forever, Bruce Boudreau, parts, like, he is helping the young Red Wings defense get better in short notice. Like, I'm not saying that he's my guy, they have to hire him, but I definitely think it would be a misstep if the Hawks did not at least pick up the phone and interview Trent Yawney and pick his brain about the head coaching job.
Yeah, I mean,
it checks a lot of boxes for what they're looking for,
especially with where the defensive group for this organization is at.
Yes,
having someone who's going to have that focus would be pretty good. And yeah, you know what? I do think the aspect of having someone who can dig into players the right way is good, because I think it goes without saying that, like, if you have a guy that is yelly 100% of the time, that runs thin very quickly. Gerard Gallant, John Tortorella, like those guys, Mike Keenan, like, yeah, they wear out they might get results, but it feeds into that 2.4 year timeline. Like, it goes short. So I think being able to have a guy that can be a guy that, or a coach that can be, you know, a kick in the pants, especially for a young group, is worth having. It's a quality that you want to be able to tap into at the right times. Because if you have a coach that's not that way, I think it's very hard in the NHL to have, like, the cerebral coaches where it's just like, oh, they're just really good at X's and O's and they're strategic and all that. Like, you're not going to see many coaches where it's just like soft spoken and just really a mastermind of the game. And I don't really think you're going to get that. You're going to have
John Cooper. That's why John Cooper's a unicorn,
right?
You know, it's not a common trait for a coach,
but he's a guy that can lay
sure,
into
yeah. When
he can lay into people.
Someone be selfish and win this game.
Yeah,
love that.
He's done it. So I think having that as an aspect of a coach is important.
Well, here's a quote from Hurricanes defenseman Sean Walker. This is from, again, Max Boltman's piece in The Athletic. He says, I think Yawney is good at communicating, pretty good, especially with young guys, about what's expected of you. And I think he does a good job of just setting those expectations and letting you know how you're going to be successful in the NHL. Our time in LA together, there were quite a lot of young D-men that came through during that time. It's pretty cool to see all the guys that were there and where they are now. Here's a list of some of the defensemen that Trent Yawney has coached: Duncan Keith, Brent Seabrook, Dustin Byfuglien, Mark-Edward Vlasic, Hampus Lindholm, Cam Fowler, Josh Manson, Sammy Vatanen, Shea Theodore, Brandon Montour, Darnell Nurse, Matt Roy, Sean Walker, Mikey Anderson. Like, there's a lot of guys who have come up and had good careers learning from him. Here's Patrick Kane on Trent Yawney. I think Duncan Keith said Trent Yawney helped him develop in his career and develop his game for the pro level, and he was good for him. He had a lot of good things to say about him. So that's kind of the first thing I thought about when he was coming here to Detroit. And, obviously you see his communication with the D, detail-oriented. I think he's been good for that group, but also just for our whole team in general. The energy he brings and day-to-day basis conversations, being excited about being at the rink, he's been great. Moritz Seider, I've never met a guy who's so detailed about little things on the ice.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think if the Hawks hire Trent Yawney tomorrow, there's going to be a big influx of season tickets sold. I don't believe that. But I do think as you're going through and you're checking boxes, Trent Yawney checks a lot of them. Again, I want to be clear here. I'm not saying this is the make or break hire, but that is kind of the prototype what you're looking for. Maybe there's a reason he hasn't been a head coach. Maybe he didn't love the day-to-day of being a head coach, but you've got to talk to him. You've got to talk to him.
I mean, he's been in that development role before. Was a head coach with the Norfolk Admirals when they were the AHL team of the Blackhawks, and that's where a guy like Duncan Keith got a lot of experience with him at that time, and he's been an assistant everywhere. When you talk about resume, he's got it.
Yep.
And I think if you talk about respect, seems like he's got it too. So, I mean, those are two big things that I think in this search, a guy like him checks off those boxes.